Welcome everyone to another episode of Construct It. Today we have the pleasure of visiting Lifetech group of companies who specializes in cold form steel products, ranging from trusses, floor joists to steel stud frames, and they've even got some, we've been told, some mock-up chair models made. So today follow me into a tour of their factory and let's see what products they offer. Hello Theo, how are you, and welcome to our show today.
Nav, welcome to Lifetech.
Thank you for having us. So if you can kind of give us a little bit of a history about your company, what do you specialize in, what type of products do you have? And as we discussed earlier, I guess we'll be going on a tour of the factory also.
Yes, Lifetech is the Lifetech Construction Group. It's based in Vancouver, serving British Columbia at this stage.
Okay.
And it's a specialized light steel manufacturer. It's also known as cold form steel.
Okay.
It's an alternative building methodology, focusing on the frame of the building.
Okay.
So much the way timber works on timber construction, people will be very familiar with that.
Okay.
The light gauge steel focuses on providing the frame.
Okay.
Where we can do walls, joists, trusses, load bearing, non-load bearing. What we have some opportunities.
So pretty much everything framing related. You have all the products to assemble the home. To kind of take it up to, I would say, rough-in stage.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we have connections with all of the major suppliers around the engineering fasteners, and pretty much we start off with a process where we get the architectural issued for constructions and the structural drawings, and then we take over and our detailing and engineering team translate this into the language that the machines can understand to produce the frames.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, when did you open? A little bit of a history about yourself and the Lifetech group of companies.
Lifetech itself has been going for about 3 years.
Okay.
It was established in BC.
Okay.
There's a couple of people that, like myself, who've been brought into the company with skills and expertise.
Okay.
I'm originally not from Canada.
Okay.
But I've been working with light gauge steel. I'm a certified builder. We've been working with light gauge steel since 2006.
Okay.
Because it's a better building methodology.
Okay.
It's accurate, it's stable, it's durable, it has a lot of advantages. It's much lighter as well.
Okay.
So where people might go brick and mortar in some countries, or timber, even timber is quite heavy compared to light gauge steel.
Okay.
So if you've got soil conditions which may not allow you to build, light gauge steel is a great opportunity to put something in there.
Okay, and you deal with all sorts of buildings, I presume, single family, multi-family, commercial projects?
Anything you can build, we can build.
Okay.
We do tenant improvements where guys just want partition walls inside, but they want them to arrive prefabricated, pre-assembled, so that it speeds up their tenant installation, through to commercial buildings, high-rise, mid-rise, multifamily, commercial, retail. Anything that you can do with construction, we can do.
Perfect, good to know. Okay, we're ready to take a tour of your facility here. You were going to show us some drawings you had said when we previously spoke, and then you're going to give us a tour of the whole facility?
Indeed, we've got a whole lot of those things to look at. Maybe just while we're capturing the moment now, also in case you've got any questions around that.
Okay.
Where this gets very interesting compared to conventional lumber is we've got 3 5/8 and 6 inch, which are your typical wall standards.
Yes.
But if you want to keep your wall assembly the same, but strengthen it, we can change the base metal thickness, we can change the yield strength of the steel without changing the dimensions of the steel.
Oh, okay.
We can change the way it's assembled through the engineering, additional screw counts and so on, that strengthen the frame, the wall, the joist, the truss, in such a way that it actually keeps to the same original size, not losing floor area, which is quite a big deal to a lot of people, especially on residential and office space. Okay,
well, this should be an exciting tour. As you know, there's all the energy efficiency, the step code changes which are upcoming now in the BC Building Code. Things are changing. People are trying to educate themselves now more than ever with all these changes coming. It's new. There's consultants that all have different ideas on how things are going to function. One person will have a different method of building it. Another will have a different method of building it. But this is a time, I guess, it's probably very exciting times for you guys with all the code changes coming, that people will be exploring options, and with all the flexibility you have with your product and the design process of making it bigger, thicker, heavier, this should be very exciting.
Exactly, and one of the things most people will know stud and track, and light steel building in those terms has been around for more than 100 years in North America.
Okay.
What's happening now, think of this when you look at this whole structure as the industrial revolution of stud and track.
Yeah, okay.
It's mechanized, it's prefabricated, modular is a big word. It's speeding up efficiencies and construction on site. It's getting away from weather-related issues. Steel needs no drying time to set. You can assemble it, install it in the wet, in the snow. So it's a very exciting. Let us go through the factory and through the boardroom. Then we can show you in the presentation some of the more technical sides of the advantages.
Perfect. So ਅੱਜ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ ਲਾਈਫਟੈਕ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੇ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਟੀਲ ਸਟੱਡ, ਸਟੀਲ ਟਰਸਸ, ਸਟੀਲ ਫਲੋਰ ਜੋਇਸ, ਕੋਲਡ ਫੋਰਮ ਸਟੀਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ, ਨਵੇਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਹੋਪਫੁਲੀ ਇਨ ਦ ਨੀਅਰ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਇਹਦੀ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਪ ਕੋਡ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਕੋਡ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਨਿਊ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਸਟੈਪ ਕੋਡ, ਵੀ ਇਹਦੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਊਗੀ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਆਪਸ਼ਨਸ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਏਬਲ ਟੂ ਚੇਂਜ ਦ ਸਾਈਜ਼ਸ ਆਫ ਦ ਵਾਲਸ, ਦ ਥਿਕਨੈਸ, ਦ ਵੇਟ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂ ਗਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਇਕੱਠੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ। ਸੋ ਫੋਲੋ ਅਸ ਨਾਓ ਹੀਅਰ। ਹੁਣ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੋਰਡ ਰੂਮ 'ਚ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਤੇ, ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ, ਤੇ ਦੇ ਵਿਲ ਸ਼ੋ ਅਸ ਸਮ ਮਾਡਲਿੰਗ of some structures that have been put together.
So what we were talking about downstairs, this is the end result of our structural designing and detailing, where we get all this different elements into one model, and we can actually spin it around, have a look at it from different angles before we go into production, to see if everything's in order, if everything's aligned, to see if there's structural steel, if it connects properly with the light steel. The engineers can see if their loads are flowing through before we actually go into production. So when we get to site, it's really accurate, it really gets installed quickly, and all the advantages are worked out before we actually go to site.
Okay, and again, this would be great again with all the modeling for the new, like we were discussing earlier with the step code coming in and the energy efficiency requirements. This would help the builders and contractors design their buildings appropriately, so they don't have any issues meeting those requirements.
And one of the standard things we can do is, if we get the electrical, plumbing and MEP models from the clients, we can actually do all of those overlays on our plans so that we can do the service holes in advance. We look downstairs at the joists where we can put the heating and the plumbing vents through.
Okay.
So all of that happens here in the shark tank.
Okay, well, it seems very exciting. Let's take a tour of the factory and kind of take a look at some of these products. ਹੁਣ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਏਰੀਆ 'ਚ ਆ ਗਏ ਹਾਂ ਥੱਲੇ। ਥੀਓ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਟੂਰ ਦਊਗਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਦੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਦਊ। ਸੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਨਵੇਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਐਕਸਾਈਟਡ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣ ਨੂੰ, ਅਗੇਨ ਵਿਦ ਆਲ ਦ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਕਮਿੰਗ। ਸੋ ਥੀਓ, what kind of information can you give us? What do these big machines do? What kind of products do they produce? And what's the use of those products?
Absolutely. This is our newest baby.
Okay.
This one can do a 12-inch stud or track.
Okay.
So we can use this. Basically, the 12-inch makes a good flooring joist.
Yes.
And we can pre-assemble them into flooring panels.
Okay.
So instead of getting lots of joists arriving on site, we can actually get them in like 4 cassettes, which can be installed.
Okay. So everything is custom. You don't pre-manufacture anything here.
Absolutely.
You don't have 2x4s, 2x6, those type of things ready. Every order comes in, gets detailed, goes to your team. They make a model, they design it, make a model, you review it, and the production starts a long time after that process, I guess, or some...
Exactly. And even with the materials, this will give you a sense of the kind of, this is a 12-gauge structural fascia. So it'll get installed like this with your cantilever joists fitting over the edge.
Okay.
So instead of putting a rim joist on, you put a structural fascia, which gets fastened in.
Okay. And again, the longevity of these products, I guess, they will last a lot longer than your conventional lumber.
Typically, your worldwide standard for rolled steel is about a 50-year warranty.
Okay.
But it's galvanized, so it can be galvanized even more highly for very aggressive areas.
Okay.
But you've got at least a Z200 galvanizing standard.
Okay.
But once your structural steel's inside the building envelope, it's not going to be attacked by anything.
Okay, exactly. So what else do you have to show us today?
And these are some samples of walls that have been prefabricated for projects.
Okay.
We had a truck that went out this morning with quite a big delivery.
Okay.
So you'll see that the shop's a bit quiet. We're giving the guys time to breathe as well.
Okay, okay.
We like to keep our people alive.
Okay.
And then these are open web joists.
Okay.
They can be made, you can see here, these ones are 12 inches, these are 18 inches.
Okay.
We can go to different sizes. Where they've asked for blocking for certain purposes on the project, we can supply the blocking.
So
but all of these come off our different machines. We've got the machine over here. We should probably take a stroll around this way.
So everything is again custom. It's all custom designed. Minimal wastage again, I guess, with your system here.
You've got about less than 0.5% wastage because the machine's cutting everything to length.
Okay.
Where typically one of the things that actually accelerated the steel frame design and the steel frame development of technology is that with timber framing, there's an industry standard that you lose about 20% of your lumber.
That's
so
true.
Every 5 frames you build, you could do the 6th one for free with lumber you already bought.
What's the price difference? Do you know percentage-wise, or kind of a ballpark when you use conventional lumber versus the cold form steel? Is there a big difference? Because I understand the price may be more on that end, but you're going to save time and money on labor, assembling it, wastage, and when you add everything up, you have this custom product that you can design for your requirements.
The steel is a bit more expensive than wood, not as much as you'd think.
Okay.
And the cost saving is the overall value you need to look at.
Okay.
Your lumber is wastage, but then you have money to spend to take that and dump it somewhere, and then transport and payment for
and
dumping
labor.
It, and so on. With the steel, you're getting 0.5%.
Okay.
Your steel, you're actually contributing to the future of the world, because most steel that's rolled for what we do is made from recycled materials.
Oh, okay.
So there's a way to recycle. We're not just fueling new mining.
Oh, that's excellent.
It's actually allowing, you could be building your house out of a lot full of old cars, for example.
Okay,
which
okay.
have been recycled.
Okay, so you're looking out for the environment, I guess, also. That.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this machine that we've just looked at, that does our 6-inch wall frames.
Okay.
And then the other 2 machines here, they do the 3 5/8 wall frames and joists and trusses.
Okay.
So this one's just being maintained, so you might get an interesting look inside.
Oh, okay, we can see
It's
what it's kind of.
very advanced technology. Pretty expensive as well. But
Oh, so it's got all of it labeled, which item, where the hole's going to be cut, what size it's going to be cut, all preset.
Exactly, and it starts off here where it gets straightened as the coil comes into the machine.
Okay, and then it presses it, provides all the
once you press the button and the steel starts feeding, these doors are all closed, and then it comes out the other end formed and ready for assembly according to shop drawings.
Okay. Excellent.
Then the coils, these decoilers are geared to actually feed in, everything's calibrated regularly to keep our system precise and accurate. And on this side here, this is our very first machine we had.
Okay.
Pretty much producing the 3 5/8 material. This one can produce track as well.
Okay.
As studs.
Okay.
It's got slightly different components internally.
Okay.
But just having a visual look, you can see from 3 years ago to what's being maintained, that's from a few months ago.
Okay.
How the technology's improved. There's a tremendous amount of workmanship going into it.
Okay.
And if you look at how we can control how the fabrication process is here, a lot of the guys who are switching over to steel construction
Okay.
are saying, we're builders, we're struggling with the quality of timber, with drying, with warping, with compression, with shrinkage.
Okay, and especially being in a wet climate.
The guy had a 3-story building, he put up a house, and he got an inch per floor compression, and all his drywall popped. And when we're talking what's the cost,
yes,
your maintenance cost in the future, your steel, it can't compress, it can't shrink, it can't pull water up its length, it's got health benefits because of the lack of moisture. You've got, because of the lack of moisture, you can't hold mold and other things which actually cause respiratory and health issues for people.
Okay. No, that's excellent to know. People are obviously always, it's inevitable, change is inevitable, but people are always scared of change, and there's lots of change coming in the building construction community right now.
Yeah.
Myself being in the warranty field, we have lots of issues with things, that come up that we want to avoid and our builders want to avoid. So the more we can educate ourselves, and the more education the builders have, and the more access to products they have, it's easier for them to design, build, and not have to look back and have a satisfied customer and homeowner.
If you're in the warranty game, something that will probably be spectacular for you and your client base is Insurance. How many strata are on the news right now? They can't get insurance because the structure is 25 years old, it's wood framed. Steel's not going to have that problem. We're actually busy dealing with insurance companies, and we're getting pricing, significantly reduced pricing on the insurance of the building because it's about risk.
Yeah.
And your combustibility of steel is not a combustible material.
Yeah.
Your risks are so much lower. And it might be an interesting thing for strata to contemplate for future builds.
Yep, that is true. That's something to think about. That is a hot topic right now, and it's causing grief for many people throughout the Lower Mainland. But what I do want to see is where we walked in, you guys have that little mock-up design of a home with some trusses. If we can just take a quick peek at that and see how it's assembled.
Sure. While we walk, I'd like to just throw in, circling back to cost, because everyone hammers cost when it comes to steel, because steel is more expensive.
Okay.
But when you look at the reality of these strata, some of them, the insurances are going up 5 times.
Yes.
People can't afford to live there anymore because of what's happened, and it's all being linked back to the material the frame's built out of.
Okay, no.
That's the only thing that they're coming back to. So
Yes.
you almost have to demolish your home to get
To rebuild it, and
and
you
to live.
Yeah, no, that's
And
understandable.
that's hard if you spend 20 years paying off your mortgage and suddenly your house is no good.
So this, I guess, you have designed and modeled as a mock-up to show clients to kind of see what the system is and how it's put together.
Yes, on this one, what's quite interesting, you'll actually see on the front face of the deck is the structural fascia in place. This is a pretty small structure, so it's a pretty light gauge structural fascia, but it gives you a very good example. We used it at the Buildex exhibition at BC Place.
Okay.
And when we erected it, we actually put the roof up in 3 different sections, and we put the thing up in more of a modular basis.
Okay.
With the big crane that we've got.
Okay.
And people were pretty amazed. Even the wooden construction guys were coming and standing around saying, "This looks good. How can we do this? This is faster."
Well, it's exciting again. It's just going to come down. People are really crunching numbers now. The days of $100 a square foot building a home are long gone. And right now, again, with all the step code changes and all the energy efficiency we're after, people are really crunching numbers. Right now, it's numbers, and how we can be cost effective while providing our customer, a home which was built with cost effectiveness in mind, and a home that performs.
Exactly. And when you're looking at numbers, every single day in the factory is a good weather day.
Yeah.
We lose no days because of weather for production.
And for installation.
And for installation. And all of that. But I'd love to show you something just which demonstrates the out-and-out capabilities that are possible. You might even want to try it out. We built a rocking chair just to show that steel can be curved.
Oh, wow.
And this is actually one of the most comfortable chairs you'll sit in. But it has the full range of rocking motions.
Okay. So this will be finished, I guess. It's left to be finished now, however anybody wants to pad it or cover it.
Well, we did it as just a proof of concept to show that this can be done.
Okay.
You get a lot of people where they've got a curvature in a room or a feature wall or some sort of external finish.
Okay.
And they're wanting to show what can be done.
Yep.
So this was done, and at the Home Expo, hundreds of people came and sat in it and actually just stayed there for a while because it was such a nice place to rest.
Well, I'd heard about this and I'd seen some pictures, so no, I'm very glad to see that.
But, yeah.
Have you done any mock-ups in regards to the new step code changes? Or
Absolutely.
Do you oh, okay.
Let's take a look.
Okay, so here we're standing in front of some mock-ups. So you guys are looking in, I guess, to the new code changes. I see you have some mock-ups you're building on, and I guess you're probably educating yourself on the upcoming changes?
Absolutely, but also people love to see something if they can come and touch it, feel it, see that it's going to fit, that it's going to be robust, and that they can, it's seeing is believing.
Yes.
That's what people believe.
Exactly.
So what we do, we have builders and all sorts of people who come through. We've got these new insulated metal panels which include the vapor and the rain screen inside this.
Okay.
So, what people are also looking at, and some of our strategic clients, suppliers of insulation are working with us to say more and more people are asking us, how does our insulation with the step code work on steel?
Yes.
So we've got them and their engineers working with us to develop products that are more relatable to steel, that overcome a lot of the problems. But this gives you a couple of different examples of how it works, how it's finished, and just a basic insight.
Okay. Excellent. No, Theo, thank you for the tour. Thank you to the Lifetech group of companies for having us out and giving us a little bit more information and showing us around your factory. I look forward to visiting you in the future when we have some more mock-ups and have a little bit more information on the step code so we can provide it to our viewers. And thank you very much.